Yeah, about it. He's got the floats, but he's trying to get his license on wheels. Hey, I mean, he went through all this. He sold both. They had two. He sold both of them.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about getting another one.
But not.
So what's the cleared medical stuff? Yeah, well, he could file with an instructor with the, after the injury, but he had to get signed off to fly back. So, yeah. So I assume he must have. Yeah. Yeah, Jason Flory, Jason, he's a contractor.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need a couple more people.
Matt.
I just don't want a couple more people.
You said you talked to Andy? Yeah, I know, I texted with Andy, so he's aware. Jim's a wild card.
His daughter got.
I know, right? Like a year early.
Right? Colt,
Colt's here and then
Christina.
Christina's next.
Andy probably won't be here. Got football.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he asked if there's a meeting tonight, we didn't follow up.
Okay, so it's 5 o'clock, we'll start. Is somebody coming in?
It's Andy. Hey, see.
Just talking. That's how I usually.
Who you cheering for? Okay, 5 o'clock, I'll call the meeting to order. Can we do a roll call, please?
Get my sheet out, we can.
Sorry.
You can move it around.
All right, Austin Boudreau, Karen DeForest,
Here.
Andy Laughlin,
Here.
Jake Bryant,
Here.
Landon Brown,
Here.
Jeff Rhodes.
Yep.
You have a quorum.
Perfect, thank you very much. Okay, so we've got several sets of minutes that were sent out by Charlie last week, which again, Tara, thank you so much. We got a lot of progress in good
Jeff
detail.
Peters.
My bad, I'm sorry.
Our liaison member.
For the ones who are
And so I've got a chance to go through it again. These were, well, especially our July 29th meeting, just to get that all reconciled. That was, a big deal, but we've got May, June, and then the July, 2 sets of minutes, and everybody understands.
On review.
Yeah, I get it. So I mean, I feel pretty comfortable with it. I've gone through them, but
Yes.
I can entertain a motion to approve them one at a time, or if everybody's comfortable, we can take a motion to approve all at once.
I'm fine with all of them.
It looked good to me.
Okay, so
The one that
So
we
I'll
just got.
move to make a motion to approve all the minutes that we have.
In a vote.
May, June, July, and then 2 for July, and then August.
no, well, I didn't get through the August one, so.
Oh, you didn't?
No,
Oh.
because he just sent that one, so I didn't get a chance to get through that.
Okay.
So we've got May, June, and then the 2 from July.
Okay.
And just for everybody that's here, it was the special recap, for our actions were in the July minutes that were required.
Karen made a motion or?
Yes.
Okay.
So Karen made a motion to approve the ones that were sent out just over a week ago for us, but not the August. Are you okay with that adjustment?
That's fine.
Just because I didn't get through it, but if everybody else.
I'll second that.
Okay, so motion to approve, again, May, June, July, and August.
No, not August.
Okay, not August, okay, an adjustment. Thank you very much for clarification. Any discussion on that? On the motion to approve those minutes? Any questions for what else might be there, or the reason that we did it that way? Okay, see no discussion, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Will be added to the record, right? Yeah, so for next meeting, we will just review the August. And again, I think the only contingencies within that are just because we move the agenda around and things like that. So, okay, so I'll move on. Why don't we, can I entertain a motion to move the new business up? So it'll come after committee reports so that we can take care of the people that are here petitioning. I'll entertain a motion to approve or change the agenda for that.
So moved.
Is there a second to adjust the agenda?
Sorry.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to adjust the agenda to move new business after committee reports before unfinished business. Any discussion on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes, so thank you. So I'll move on to committee reports. Nice to see everybody here. So tell me, if you have anything update for the city county liaison report?
No, I shared a little bit. We had a meeting Monday and there's nothing extraordinary. There's one piece voted on that was in ETJ. But it had already been discussed multiple times, so feel good about it.
Good. Mr. Peter, anything to add?
No, that was development plan at the old T.I. Jody's.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're putting on an addition there. And then the plan commission forwarded to the city council approval for the zoning changes on 2 parcels. One just south of town and one along I-69, right at the US 20 exit there.
Okay, good. Any questions for the city county liaison report? Okay, we'll move on to drainage board. Anything from drainage board? Jim's not here.
Jim is not here.
And it's okay if there's not. I don't mean to put you on the spot.
You are putting me on the spot, but I try to actually go and think. I can't think of anything major that we had that was, and Don Chicken said no to, so yeah, we both agreed that nothing. Nothing pressing on drainage board.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Any questions for drainage board or things should? That's anything. Okay, plat committee. Yeah, we met and we had one. I think the biggest thing is just, I like the cadence that we've got with the plat committee, that you guys, the office receives requests, we're able to meet, we get it approved, and get it moved on quickly so that things aren't getting backed up. I think that's the biggest thing that I like to report about that. But again, any questions with regard to the plat committee? Anyone?
I will tell you, the plat committee members, we came in this weekend and cleaned that place like top to bottom, front and back. I have bruises from moving, so I mean, it was physical. Charlie's got bruises. And we're hoping to turn that into a little mini conference room, so it'll help you guys do your job better and have more room, and we're not all just basically in filing cabinets.
Yeah.
We're one step much closer to that. Just a little behind the scenes stuff for you guys.
No, I appreciate it.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, it's nice. And you're right. We have business to take care of, but if it can be, yeah, that's nice. Okay, thanks for that. We'll move on to Board of Zoning Appeals.
We have one where they are asking for a 3rd detached accessory building or structure. And that's it. It's on the docket.
Okay. Any big concerns with that?
It's right out
Yeah.
by Golden Lake.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
and that little road, you go past that church and then you take that dirt road and you hang a right, it's out that way.
Okay.
So
Nice. Any questions for the Board of Zoning Appeals? Everybody's happy with that? Okay. I skipped my chairman's report, I guess. And everything that's in the agenda, again, I guess, if you guys don't mind, I apologize for going out of order like that. But again, I want to give kudos to the staff and what we've been working on that's in unfinished business, and that a lot of things have been, happening, kind of nice sequence. So again, everything is getting set up correctly so that when we meet and need to go through things with our consultants and the people that are doing the rewrites, I can give, I guess the board just my confidence that we're making the right moves. You guys have seen the updates that have come from, Brandon and Ryan with regard to the floodplain ordinances and the stormwater ordinances. And we've also discussed with them some of the ETJ stuff, but it's nice that we're all kind of on the same page. We understand what we're required to accomplish, what steps need to be made in order for us to, finalize and really, to close out on a couple of these ordinance drafts that we've been working on for a couple of years. So it's all coming together, and hopefully we'll be done with that before the end of the year, right? But again, I just really appreciate the hard work that everybody's doing and the changes that are happening in the office. Code enforcement, I'm hearing great things about how that's all working and coming together. So from a plan commission standpoint, I think that's important. So thanks for your hard work, everybody. Any questions for me? Okay. Let's move on to new business. So if you'd like to start us out.
Let me do my announcements real quick.
Go ahead.
Please turn your cell phones off or to vibrate. Please keep conversations to a minimum when necessary as quiet as possible. Meetings are recorded. Information concerning the agenda and applications are available on the table near the entrance. Restrooms are located at the north and south ends of the hallway. Exit is located at the north end of the community center. Please sign in and include your mailing address if you have not done so already. Staff presents an application. Petitioner speaks for the application. Members of the public may speak in favor or opposition to the application. Plan commission members may question remonstrators. Petitioner may address questions. No new evidence presented. Motion is made. If a second is received, discussion will commence. Amendments may be made. Voting will take place. The results will be announced. Please speak only when at the podium. State your name and address. Speak only to the chair. Be brief and speak to the topic of discussion. Be mindful there's a speaking time limit. Plan commission, I guess that's you, Chair, Mr. Chairman, but meeting minutes. All right, if we're ready for the first one, VPW-25-03 Scott and Karen Lance petition for a vacation of a public way. The proposed public way for vacation is a portion of a platted cul-de-sac adjoining lots 23 and 24 of Ramblin' Acres subdivision. Located at 475, lane 275, Jefferson Lake, section 30 of Jamestown Township, 7603-30-410-101-000-006, and 7603-30-410-102-000-006. Here we have a photo, and you can see the petitioner's property outlined there in the teal light blue, and then you see the portion of the cul-de-sac there. Here we have the site plan. Here we have some photos taken, I believe by code enforcement. I'm not mistaken.
Nice work.
Better than mine, so I can't. There you go. That's all I have for you.
Okay. Is there anybody here that's speak in favor or speak on behalf of the petition? Okay. Approach the podium and state your name and address.
Scott Lance, 475, lane 275, Jefferson Lake, Dole, Indiana. Just here to vacate the cul-de-sac. My petition.
Okay. Any questions for the petitioner?
How long has it been like this with the driveway running through the existing cul-de-sac?
Well, I'm not sure. I think mid-70s, but I've been here 28 years. I've been developed, so.
GPS goes back to 12. It's like GPS looks the way that it was.
Does it ever, like that retaining wall?
That has nothing to do with me. I've never been involved in that. That's not on my side, so whoever did that back in the day, I don't know.
Is that private land or is that public? Do they plow that, the county, or is
The
that
street is plowed, yes, sir.
by the county?
Yes, sir.
This was the site visit. Any comments back from the site visit?
Looks just like the pictures.
Great. Okay. Thank you, sir. Is there anybody that's speaking in opposition to the vacation? Yeah, thank you, sir.
So it's just for the portion that is the driveway? Or are we doing the whole thing,
That right there, just that.
just that?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just the half, or, well, that little corner part of the, okay.
Yep.
Just wanted to make sure because on here it doesn't, because it doesn't show it, how far it went over. So I didn't know if it was just
Oh.
what I'm looking at. So
Yeah, I don't see.
So for that garage, that on the separate lot for 24, who owns that property? Do you own that property for
Lots
lot
23
24?
and 24, yes, ma'am.
So then you wouldn't be blocking
Mhm.
anything, because that would be, and you'd allow these stuff to build there.
I'm saying now, so that's something we're going to. Wait, I'm not quick.
Just,
Even up.
Yeah. we would have to.
The cul-de-sac at the end, it's not.
Right, right.
Yeah, so did.
So I got my question
Your question
answered.
answered. Did you guys have some other comments that, I missed kind of what you guys were talking
I would want to make sure that, our highway department is, aware of it, okay with it. We sign off on something like this.
Typically don't require it, but we did not.
Yeah. I mean, if this is a public right of way, I understand now it's not being used as that, but in the future, cul-de-sacs are generally used for, storm snow, stuff like that, if it ever gets to that point. So I think I'd want to make sure that that was okay with, the highway department, if they are the ones, if it's a green sign, then I take it, you're 275.
Yes,
I
it
just can't
is.
remember that over there. Okay.
Yeah, I worked at the Howard County Highway Department for 20 years, so.
Yeah.
We've never stored snow there. People live there, so wouldn't be smart to push it in.
Well, I've plowed snow in city before too. Sometimes that's where it's gotta go. So I just want to make sure that that is okay. That we're vacating in a public way, we're taking care of, so.
like a bus turnaround type thing.
Emergency Any.
Vehicles.
Yeah.
I guess that's an interesting wrinkle to it.
Yeah.
Can we make it a condition that it
We can just
gets
table
that
it until
approved
we-
or take, okay. Do that too.
Okay, yeah, so, I think those are valid, comments. Does that put our petitioner in any difficulty? Can we put a stipulation of the approval until we get the sign off and not have them come back for that if we table it?
Put it as a condition, or put, like Andy just said, table it, then either way. It's a lot. I mean, we'll just-
Okay, I think we understand what they want. It's just,
There's something else there. I mean, there's a freaking telephone pole or power line right in the middle of where that would be. So, I mean, I understand your concerns, but I don't see.
my only concern
Use it
is,
for whether it's.
Yeah,
you're saying.
I'm
They'd have to
saying-
bury all that, so look at
Yeah.
that.
I'm just saying for future development. I mean, it was set up that way for a reason. If we start vacating road right of ways that, our highway engineer doesn't want vacated.
What's
Get
the,
messy.
Developed in a different way than what it was originally. Though too.
But not, and that's fine. I mean,
what's
Like,
the reasoning behind the vacation?
are you doing a project or anything, or?
To vacate, I guess I'm confused because 28 years ago when I bought this, it was never an issue. That's before Beacon was around, the way I understand it. And then now it is an issue. Charlie, want to help me with this?
I mean, he came in to pull a permit for a garage addition and that wouldn't have met the setbacks. And you've got two options basically that he could go, and the correct way would be to go for the vacation first, not the variance. So that's the route he went.
Yeah, we've got experience with doing one before the other in the past, so you're right.
I was trying to do it the right way.
I like to table this until there's a conversation, have a conversation with Chip on this.
Okay.
You make that motion. I will make that motion to table until, next meeting.
We have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, motion second, discussion on the table. The tabling of the motion, or of the petition. Discussion. I guess what I would lead us into then at this point is, Charlie, how do we, how would we handle that? Just go back, go to the highway department?
Just bring it back up.
Okay,
Letter from Chip.
It's tabled until.
so, so a motion to table, seconded. Any more discussion on that motion? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor of tabling this petition until next month, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes. So this will be tabled. Can we give it, good instruction then, just, do they need to do that with Chip or?
I figured
We will do it.
Yeah.
I will do it.
Yeah, okay. Commissioner,
I'll have that conversation, Chip.
Okay, good, thank you. Do you guys understand what that means then? Just to kind
I'm
of.
not real clear. We'll have to come back again and pay another fee and everything else.
No, just our decision will be tabled, and we understand exactly what you want to do.
Well, I have to attend the next meeting then to get the results. I mean, I'll do what I need to do. I
It's
just,
up to you, but, I don't think,
okay.
It's not required.
Right.
Yes,
If you want to attend, you're welcome to attend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this another one, like so there's no additional information to be presented at the next meeting?
That's correct.
It'll just be Chip's sign off or not.
if he's got a good valid reason to not do, then we can have that discussion.
Okay.
Yeah, Chip's decision will affect our final approval of the vacationing, okay? Okay, so thank you, appreciate that. Okay, so we're gonna move back up to unfinished business. The first that we've got there is extraterritorial jurisdiction, ETJ. How would you like, I don't know, if you've been involved in some of the updates when we received an update the staff had, I don't know, and I apologize if that was covered with you or not.
He's aware of the meeting.
Yeah.
He's aware. So we had a meeting and it basically built on what Andy's done with the city. I don't want to tell tales out of school, as they say. We have nothing yet, but I'm very confident at this point we're going to get something in writing. I don't think it's going to be the big 30-pager that spelled everything out in accordance with Indiana code the way we liked it. But I think they're at least coming to the table to get something in writing. There's possibility of them giving some land back that they have no plans on developing, which is what we've been asking for. If you're not going to use it, let us take care of it. And then there's some other stuff, possibly, Charlie, you were there. If I missed something, remind me. There's some other stuff there where they do have some reasonable answers to this. It makes a lot of sense, but if we work it out, get something in writing, and they give some of the land back they're not going to use, I think that would take care of a lot, quite honestly. Because the big concern is, well, they're not taxpayers into the city, their county, this, that, and the other. It's valid argument. Well, then if they give some of the property back that they're not planning on developing or at any time soon, then maybe we could take over and they wouldn't have to worry about their resources on that. So.
But is it zoned underneath us or is it zoned them?
It's them. We'd have to zone it if we took it, but it'd be a whole process. And I think the commissioners would have to agree to take it back. I don't think they just give it to us.
Okay.
It's like in reverse. I don't know.
I would think if they released it, everything unincorporated, they'd be unincorporating it, so it probably would go, make it go back to us.
Release the ETJ, are they here?
Some
If they release the ETJ, the jurisdiction is back.
Right, yeah.
but they can't refuse it, or there would be none of that.
I don't think so.
I mean, unless there was like a surplus site or something out there, super fun,
I mean,
I don't think they could
unincorporated.
even, I don't think they could even. I don't think they could even reject that.
Not that they would want to, I'm just kind of bringing it up, so yeah.
No, I mean, I've been in contact with Dave on that, and if that was on the table, some of the areas where, they don't see growth in the future because of the way they've developed, and then we would be open to having those discussions. So, and I do think some of those things they were kind of testing waters on, and I might have heard everything's gone well, so.
Agreed. That's basically what my report as well. I think it looks like we're getting there.
No, and again, great work just to kind of, is it okay to editorialize it? I think it's, great to be able to work with the administrator directly rather than necessarily having to include nothing against the attorneys, but.
Yeah, no, just sitting down having a conversation and working it out. That way everybody knows where everybody else stands, without it getting too, muddy.
And I mean, and is the drive still to get back to an agreement then? Yeah, I mean.
I think the overall drive is to get something on paper, and then that will direct everything else, I would think.
But we had something on paper when we gave it to them and then they didn't give us any comments back. They just said,
The comment I got was basically like too detailed. They wanted something simpler, kind of.
And again, I'll editorialize here. It's, and that, I think
That's
that
fine.
was, the attorney saying that, but I think when you're getting into the administration of it, they understand there needs to be something. Just how detailed that needs to be, I think, that can be discussed.
I think that, yeah, like I said, they really are testing the waters. They're doing some of it. I think they just want to see how it goes. I think everything goes the way it's been going. I think everything will be fine.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Any other questions for the staff or Andy? Thanks for, your participation there as well.
He's helped a ton. I mean, he's laid the groundwork for what we did the other day, so.
Yeah.
Good.
Dave and I enjoyed our meeting, so.
No, and I see him and he brings it up, so I know it's a discussion point. Okay, any other questions about ETJ? But again, great progress. We'll move on to the floodplain ordinance. So Clint, why don't you give your kind of orientation to it?
Brandon went through it and wrote it all up. Taking a lot of the regulations of us taking care of docks and seawalls and stuff like that out of there. I believe, I haven't connected the dots, but I believe it eliminates us from having to update other sections of our ordinance outside of the floodplain ordinance, which makes me very happy because this board and previous boards have sat down and put that ordinance together. And for the state to come in and say, you got to change X, Y, and Z and others, I don't like that. I don't think the state has that power. So Brandon drew up a draft. And what I would like to ask of you tonight, or Mr. Chairman, whatever the protocol is, I would like to send that down to the state before this board votes on it, just to see if it's okay with them and it passes muster. If it does, then we can come back and do the process of tweaking it. If it goes through unscathed, it'll go to the commissioners. If there's some changes here, it'll have to go back to the state, come back to you, then go to the commissioners. But I mean, I think sending it to the state right now would be the best way to proceed.
Yeah, and again, my editorial on that is that, I was sat in on the meeting, with Brandon when we went through it. And they've been through this before, and it does, we're proper sequencing so that we're not having to, send it to the state where I don't want to say it gets lost, but you get more hands on it at that point. It doesn't make sense.
So
So
all I'm saying is this board gives it a positive and the commissioners adopt it and then we send it to the state. I can't. I don't want to go through that again.
No.
So any questions for Clint then from the board?
We just need to make him aware that he needs to send it down to the state. So do you need a motion for
I don't
that?
know
Or
if I
do we
need-
just tell him to send
General
it to the state?
consensus would work for me, but I don't know if that's.
No, just to formalize it so that it gets added to the record as, the board is giving, Clint that authority.
Yeah.
I'd like a motion and a second. I think that would be wonderful.
Okay. Okay, I will make the motion to send the current draft that Brandon wrote out for the floodplain ordinance to be sent down to the state first, and then it will come back to us to look at.
Okay, motion, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion second. Discussion on the action. Do we know who we're sending it to at the state?
Doug.
Probably be Doug and Darren, I assume, and Jessica.
That's who I was thinking. She's our direct contact. I
Yeah.
probably got straight through her.
Okay, good. So
I
that's
figured we'd
good.
CC Doug and Darren to get that.
Okay. Any other discussion on that motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Right.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. So we've got an action. One more step. Thank you.
Set them up, knocking them down.
Set them up, knock them down. Okay, we'll move on to the stormwater ordinance draft.
Charlie's a little more versed in that than I am,
Yeah.
but you were at the same meeting.
Basically with that, Brandon had let us know that he's reviewed all of those changes and worked with the surveyor's office as well. The one thing he said he would prefer us to do is to send it out to an engineer that's actually going to be working in the county and to see from their professional angle, like what their thoughts are on it, if there's anything that isn't really relevant to Steuben County that might be in the stormwater ordinance. So we're trying to work with Jim and Greg to get an engineer or a couple of engineers on board that can look it over. The only problem there is funding. If they require a payment, it could be an engineer that works with the county. I know Chip's busy, so we're probably not going to use him for it. But it might come down to surveyor's office, planning commission working together to try and budget how we can, or use current funds to pay for an engineer to review it.
What do you think about that? You're a commissioner, so you would be I mean, I want
To get the funding, you mean? Or
no, I
Oh.
mean what he thinks about sending it out to the surveyor and sending it to multiple, or just sending it to one, or.
I don't have a problem, more asking. Yeah.
And again, as Charlie said, I was in the meeting and you know, and Brandon kind of gave us, you know, kind of the rundown that, you know, you got to find a professional engineer that goes through all of the rules and looking, you know, how many pages was that?
Like, I think 180 for the technical standards or something like that. It was a lot.
Right. And what's in there are, you know, based on the amount of water falling on a series of rooftops and, you know, hitting the ground and where that goes, and it's, you know, the engineering calculations of water. And I knew I've got a relationship with a professional engineer that has been involved with that, but he always farmed it out. He said it's complicated and it takes an authority, you know, with that capability. You know, so what it might, you know, cost some money in order to do that, correct?
Yeah.
That we haven't necessarily planned for. But
Is that something that you could send it to the state for them to absorb the cost?
You probably split
It was a model ordinance, so I don't know.
well, but okay, so the model ordinance, and he got the rules, right, the same way? But so somebody with an authority wrote the rules. You know, like the person I talked to was David Wolf. He had said that there are some key engineers that have worked, you know, not only in this county, but in DeKalb, that have been through those rules before. You know, we're kind of the tip of the spear again here in Steuben County with it, right? You know, we're breaking new ground with it, but I like that idea. If
There's an agency and somebody willing down there to look at
I
it.
mean, yeah, I mean, they're the bubble machine.
And I guess I'm not familiar with what, you know, is that A&R,
I don't think so.
the Army Corps?
It'd probably be IDEM or, I think it probably would be IDEM.
Could that Ginsick, or who you guys use for drainage board, look at it? But aren't they down in Fort Wayne?
Yeah, I mean, we can,
I mean, I know that you guys used them quite a bit in drainage board, but I didn't know.
yeah, I don't know if it'd be them or like an engineering group.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Back in the day, everything went through Christopher Burke, but I haven't.
That was who David Wolf said, yeah.
That's,
And that would have been, Jim would have been, or Larry was big in with them. I don't know if Jim does anything with them or not. So we can check with Jim and find out who he's got, and go from there.
Yeah, okay, so a good discussion. You know, what does this board recommend? You know, so we've got the ordinance, I think, is well written, and the markup was really good. You know, again, took us a long time to get there. But now the technical specifications of the rules, the bureaucracy that's behind it, that's got to be approved with it. I mean,
That's not been asked before, but I would assume, yes, 100% that would have to be, yeah.
but how you administer it so that then that, you know, so then, you know, that gets in when somebody wants to develop and, you know, there is a stormwater question, they've got to follow those rules or be able to justify, you know, that they got those measurements or understand. And I think of, you know, a development of multiple homes or, you know, multiple storage units that have lots of rooftops and water falling on them and things like that. But then down to some of the specifics that we saw, you know, where, you know, people are putting driveways in after they've built and, you know, what the water calculations are when you get a certain amount of rain and what that affects, how it gets there, how it affects the lakes mostly, right?
Yes. And I still think, I could be wrong. I think that's something we're gonna have to sit down and really think about and talk about and additionally add to our ordinance once this is in place. That way we know how they work together. But yeah, the way it sits right now, it's not really sustainable.
Okay. Okay, how would you like us to recommend things?
It's been your baby mainly. Still work with Jim trying to find the
Yeah, I would say that
engineer.
would probably be the best route since it's kind of coexisting with that department and their department handles a lot more drainage issues than ours does. I would think that that would be the best path forward. Is working with Jim to find a good engineer to work with for this particular project.
I mean, and would that have to go out for a bid then type of situation, or is it, again, if there's an existing
Sure.
relationship?
It shouldn't have to go out for a bid, it's not that, shouldn't be that much.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if it's a standard type of calculating, just a lot.
Generally, professional services are done.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so then we can leave it right there for now, and, the staff has the action to continue with that. We don't need, I don't think we need a motion for that. Does anybody feel differently? But again, that's another big one that would be nice to close out before the end of the year, correct?
Would be very nice.
Okay. And does that well, again, if it means that if Jim says, yeah, the state, I mean, if it's Army Corps or, IDEM that that does that type of work, I would think it would, be a great mathematician somewhere that would do all that. But okay, but we can leave it there unless there's any other recommendations from the board. Okay. Good, nice work. The last one is just the ordinance updates, and you had sent out another message with regard to the nuisance.
Yeah, I sent that out. I mean, we could, I don't really have anything prepared to discuss with the nuisance ordinance. I do have a new copy. I don't know if I sent you guys out. The health department made some tweaks to the nuisance ordinance where I can send that out to you guys, that amended copy to where it's a little bit more up to date with them. The main thing for ordinance updates that I threw it on there for was just letting you guys know that the amendments to the ordinance did pass their first reading. I think they got tabled on the second reading. I'm not quite sure. But they did. Okay, awesome. But other than that, they did pass their first reading when we went down originally.
Okay, but why was the AFO stopped? Was there a reason?
The reason given by the one commissioner, which was Mr. Scheit, was that he had some questions about some language in there and the ability to enforce and exactly what the language meant. He wasn't opposed to
Okay.
I don't think any commissioner was opposed to it. It just they wanted some more clarification to make sure that enforcement was probable, so.
And were they going to get the clarification or was somebody else going to do
Commissioner
it?
Scheit was going to
Okay.
give clarification.
So even though that was published on the front page, or was that our action is what made the front
They
page?
published it after the first reading.
Right, but the second reading, they didn't go through.
Oh, okay.
So,
Second,
second, third.
So do we understand the steps then that are required? Will we have another action with that or?
No, we shouldn't.
The only
Just
way
like-
we would,
just like
they
we
want to
just
change
did.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it goes through, now it's just then takes effect in 30 days. If they want to change anything, I think we're happy.
Okay. Okay, so, which makes sense. Then I appreciate, Commissioner Scheit's reaction because again, he fielded the original complaint, which, and I was gonna do an update out to our subcommittee after it hit the front page, just saying, we didn't get everything people were expecting, but that's a good bit of work that was done to outline and structure that. Have we heard any more feedback publicly from that at all? So again, that,
Shockingly.
again, that's good work. You guys are, familiar with, again, when we did the subcommittee, there was a push to get, push all of it. I think this was a great compromise. Again, Kevin Stockwell, the work that was done towards this board to get that much done. I think, and you
it's a good
guys,
start.
politically was really good.
What were the other, so the other one was a setback ordinance, that one was tabled as well?
No, it was passed.
Yeah,
That was just the AFO.
Just, yeah, okay, so the other one's finished with the third reading.
Yep, so the Landon Brown road front setback rule is
Reducing it by 5.
It's reducing it to
25 to 20.
That's correct.
We wanted to name it the Land of Broad, let's vacate and move the road ordinance, but we.
Let's do that one next. So we don't have to require signatures, Don.
So this, again, great work. Just, this is, I like getting things checked off the list. And these are good things that a lot of people put a lot of time and effort into. So we'll wait for the final action from the commissioners, and we can always send an update out to the subcommittee that we worked with. But again, I think it's great work. So thanks, everybody. Any other updates that are out there?
Before we move forward, Jeff, I did have a note, kind of just something to think about on the environmental nuisance one. Section 5 procedure, it doesn't say how much time. Should that be a concern from one step to the other, A, B, C, D?
It's usually 30 days, so yeah, what do you say it
That's a
was?
given.
No,
It should be right.
it should be in there.
I agree.
What section was it?
Section 5 for the procedure. It explains everything nicely, what the process is. It just doesn't say how much time should be from either start to finish or from one step to the next.
And we kind of discussed that with the nuisance one, is how much time do you give people before? So that's a good point.
Yep, that's a very good point. That's something we need to, that's why we're doing this. This is one of those, and this is one of those ordinances that I've used when I was here before, working in the county and the environmental nuisance and stuff. And it hasn't been updated in that long. It's the same one I was working with. So it's time. Laws have changed, rules have changed, stuff's missing. It refers to other sections of ordinances that no longer exist. So that's exactly why we're doing this. Perfect.
Good. So thank you, Austin. And are there any other ones that we're getting, that I guess are racking up complaints or people that have misunderstandings that they bring to you guys in the office?
This is the 300-foot rule so far, but yeah,
We got another one of those coming October, another 300-foot rule.
but it's there for a very valid reason. We had a discussion on this, and I think the board that we spoke to, the members we spoke to, liked what it is and why it's there. Public, maybe not so much, but it does make perfect sense of why we have it. We don't want every subdivision that's getting older to turn into garage condos, because people can buy those lots up cheap, put a bunch of garages in there, sell them to people out of towners, and then they got little illegal barn dominiums they're living in on the weekends and stuff. So it's valid that it's in there, but we are getting a lot of pushback from the public on it. So.
Interesting.
Doesn't mean it's wrong. Doesn't mean it's right. I'm just saying that's where we're sitting.
Well, and again, we haven't really gotten back into the overall county plan, but yeah, do we want to be, ahead of that type of development so that the rules are in place before they happen?
No, I think we are right now, the way we sit. It seems to be a bit much when you're looking at it from the outside. But I could see this being a real can of worms. I'm not usually a sky is falling kind of guy on these things, but this is one of those where if we don't do it right, it could be a little ugly. It could be a lot of people living in garages part-time and stuff we don't want to deal with.
And you're right. And I guess when you pointed it out to me that it was, somebody parking their camper in a garage and
Well, that happens.
and living in the camper in the garage. Doesn't seem optimal, but I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And I do. And again, we've got a good process where you guys are collecting that information, that if it needs to be updated in ordinance, we're seeing that, kind of staying ahead of it, and then getting, feedback in front of this board to, how to take the action. I think is great. Okay. That's all we have for unfinished business, or anything else people need to add. I didn't ask for any change, additions, anything. And it's not on here, but do we have any announcements? We can move to announcements for the good of the board. I guess I apologize. I'm a little distracted. The news about Charlie Kirk today has got me. I didn't hear about it until I walked in here, so I'm a fan and a follower and appreciator. And so hearing the tragedy of what happened to Charlie Kirk today is horrible. Just for the good of the board, we say a prayer for his family. And the only other thing I was going to say, tomorrow, the commemoration of 9/11. Last year we had our meeting on 9/11. And again, it's got a special place for me. Just again, what happened through that time period, and we seem to be slipping further and further away from what it meant to all of us. So again, just to I ask for the board just announcements to commemorate and remember it all. Okay? Any other announcement from anybody? I can entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved. Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Right.
Adjourn. Next timing, everybody. One piece again?
Yep.
Just one.
You're right.
You're probably sharing, because I got problems.
No.
I see our big time.
Yeah.
County, we're going to Butler for one.
I only get out of bed for CAFO.
So,
Yeah, we like Eric.